We're all set. You're ready. You're live.
So, greetings, everyone, and welcome to Pillai Center Practice here at Pillai Center. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome to this power time that we are going to be sharing about today. And as with all Dr. Pillai's teachings, there is a time and a place for everything. So why is that so? If we are thinking about our karma and how we want to change it and how we want to shift our destiny, then we have to know when to do it. When is that perfect time? So today we are going to be sharing about how to connect with the genes of our souls. So soul genetics is the topic, and soul genetics is something that is going to fix our karma. So what is our karma? Our karmas are our thoughts coming from past lives, coming from the influence of planets, coming from our ancestors. So if we could fix the past lives, if we could fix the planets, if we could fix the ancestors, what would our life look like? We would go from bad luck, bad money karma, bad relationship karma, bad health karma, bad family karma, bad marriage karma, bad job karma, career, business, and so on. Even our spiritual path is up and down and inside and outside. And here we are on a spiritual path and we can't figure it out. So if we could figure out how to fix all that, what would our life look like? Fabulous relationships, perfect job, health, career. We would go to high heights with our spiritual practices. We would go on pilgrimages versus vacations and partying and getting burnt in the sun. So it's a great time to come together and find out what this time is all about, to honor our ancestors. So to change our karma, we're going to look into how we can propitiate or honor our ancestors, because we need their blessings. And why our ancestors? Because they share our genes. So even though we may think, oh, well, our ancestors are dead, they're no longer here in the physical body. So how can they be impacting us? We share their genes. Just take a look at your nose. Whose nose is that? Is it your grandmother's nose? Is it your grandfather's nose? Is it your mother's, your father's, your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather? So if they have passed, those people are called your ancestors. They're in the spiritual realm. So they're not in the physical body anymore. So if your parents are still alive, or your grandparents are still alive, or even your great-grandparents are still alive, they are not considered your ancestors. They're still alive. So our ancestors pass on behavioral traits as well as physical traits. So we can think, oh, I'm never going to be like my mother. I'm never going to be like my father. I'm never going to be like my grandparents who struggled and they just had come out of the war and they were just penny pinching. And then they had nothing. They just worked hard and they thought that money was evil and so on. And guess what? We're just like them. We have poverty consciousness, scarcity consciousness. We never have enough. We never know what we want to do with our lives. We are purposeless sometimes. We're going along, all of a sudden we lose our job, or we get a divorce, or someone dies in the family, causes upset. So crisis in life happens. And we call that bad luck. It could be something that just happens, or it can be that there is something that we also have inherited, and that is beyond the physical, beyond the behavioral traits or patterns. It can be that we have inherited the spiritual energies that are following us. So they can be like curses. So people come and they say, Dr. Pillai, how do I get out of my bad luck? I just have bad luck all the time. I'll start something and then out of nowhere, it'll just go sideways or I'll fail. I failed time and again. I have chronic financial problems. I have chronic relationship problems. I don't even have a relationship. Or I have a relationship, I get married, and then I get divorced, and then I do it again and again and again. What is that all about? So it can be coming from your past lives. It can be coming from planetary influences that are pinging us to do the same thing over and over again. It can and does come from the ancestors, because we can pray to the gods. Hey, please help me to come out of my bad karmas. Or we can pray to the planets. Hey, be my friend. So whenever you are transiting the different signs or the different houses in my astrological chart, which is our blueprint of how to navigate the earth plane, we can also find out how we can come out of the problems with our ancestors. So how do we do it? We honor them during this 2-week period. And this 2-week period is called Mahalaya Paksha. So Mahalaya Maha means great, and Laya means the time of the ancestors. They're all coming to the earth plane. So this is a great time to honor the ancestors. We need to get their blessings. So they're ready to give us gifts. So it's kind of like we're going to be behind a window. So they're on one side of the window or on one side of the glass, and we're on the other side of the glass. We have to make that glass disappear so that we can receive the blessings. How do we receive blessings? We have to give them something. It always is a mutual exchange. So the ancestors need us to give them what they need wherever they are. So some ancestors are hanging upside down, as Dr. Pillai shares. When the soul leaves, if it has left before the life has ended, so they just lived for a certain period of time, and then they came back, or they found out that, oh my God, I'm out of the body and I shouldn't be out of the body because I didn't age and I didn't die naturally. Maybe it was an accident, or they died of a critical disease, cancer, or they got taken out by a bullet, being in the wrong place at the right time. So where that bullet hit them, and it wasn't intentional or could have been intentional. Or it could be a child that never was born, so from an abortion or from a miscarriage. So the souls of our ancestors are hanging upside down, or they're lost, or they're just not really sure. Do I go back to the earth plane? Where do I go now? So it's so important for us to help them to come out of that stuck purgatory state. It's not just something that's written in the scriptures, it's for real. Now, there are some ancestors who they lived a, licentious life, let's say, where they just, wine, women, and song all the whole life long. And so they upset their family members, or they upset people in their lives and so on, and they didn't care. They just went about it, and then they died. So off they go to realms where they can be purified. And those realms, as the scriptures say, are quite hellish. So they are hanging out in hell. And why should we care about that? Because again, they are locked into our genes. We have a spiritual destiny with them as well. So if we want to change our spiritual destiny, we need to honor the ancestors first and foremost, before the planets, before the gods. Now, most of us have been honoring the gods. We get on a spiritual path and we pray to Christ, we pray to Muhammad, we pray to Shiva, Ganesha, we pray to whoever, we pray to Mother Nature. And we just need to come out of our hardships. Please, please, please help me. And they do help us somewhat. But then there comes a time where we're like scratching our heads. Why isn't this happening faster? I'm dedicating all my hours, all my extra hours that I have in the day, after my work, after taking care of the kids, cooking dinner, doing the laundry, running around, doing whatever I need to do to navigate this earth plane, to navigate this life. And day after day goes by, week after week goes by, month after month, year after year, decade after decade after decade after decade. And we're coming to an end, and it's just like, whoa, there's not much time left. What is going on with this spiritual path? So this spiritual path that you're on, or maybe you're just being invited at the level of the soul to come and find out what Dr. Pillai has shared with us, how we can fix that bad karma through honoring or propitiating the ancestors. So how to do it? During Mahalaya, this is the right time, this time period where we're going to go from a full moon to a new moon. That full moon is going to be starting on September 13th, 2019, and it's going to continue on till the 18th, which is a Wednesday, and that's US Eastern Daylight Savings Time. This is the calendar by Astrovid, and it is based on Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and it's a US calendar, although I'm here in Canada and I use it. So it's great to find out when this timing is for you. There will be different timings for people on the other side of the world. So you got to check out the dates for when it's going to start and when it's going to end. So you want to find out when the full moon is. So what does Paksha mean? Paksha means it's on the side of, it's on either side of the full moon. So there are 2 phases of the moon, 15 days on the waning cycle and 15 days on the waxing cycle. So the full moon is where we are going to be, we're going to be alert. We're going to be, holy cow, what's going on? The ancestors are coming. I'm finding out, okay, I've got to propitiate them. I've got to honor them. What are they going to do? It's like going to a party. You got to find out what do you got to wear? What do you have to bring? And so on, and to get their blessings. So so Paksha, there's Shukla Paksha, which is the bright side from the new moon to the full moon, and then Krishna Paksha is the dark side of the moon. So we want to honor our ancestors because they're coming on the dark side of the moon. The 15 days coming from the full moon, and then as it gets smaller and smaller and smaller in the sky, it comes down to the new moon where there is no moon. So new moon means no moon. So the new moon is also called Amavasya. So Ama means to come together, and then Vasya means to dwell. So what's coming together? So this is a time period where the sun and the moon come together, astrologically speaking. Now, what does the sun represent? The sun represents our soul. And why we're here is because our mother and father got together and here we are. So the sun represents the soul, and the soul is like the father. So we need the father's sperm to meet the mother's egg to make it happen, make us happen here. And here we are. So the sun, the soul, and our father. Then we have the moon, the mother, and our mind. So the mother and the father are going to come together. Then the soul and the mind are going to come together. Now, the new moon says there's no mind. So what is left over is the soul. So it makes sense that by the end, by this new moon time, this Amavasya is the new moon, it is a time for us to get out of our mind and go to the realm of the ancestors, do something that will help us to connect to the ancestors. And then we can have, there's a new moon every month. There are 4 powerful new moons each year. And Mahalaya Paksha is one of those times where the new moon is really powerful to honor the ancestors. So every new moon, we're going to honor the ancestors. And then during Tayamavasya, Masi, Magha, and then also Aryamavasya, those are 3 power time new moons that we can connect with our ancestors. And they happen about every few months. So, but they're only happening on one day. Now, Mahalaya is happening for 15 days. So we're going to start with the full moon, and then we're going to get blessings from that beginning of that Paksha period, that period of the waning cycle, where we are going to get out of our mind. Our mind is going to go less on external things and more on internal connection to our ancestors. So how we want to do that is we want to honor our ancestors by doing a special feeding for them. So just like we need money, we need food, we need to go to Starbucks, we need to go on our vacations, we need to do our spiritual practices, we need to pay for our kids' weddings. You know, we need to do so many things. And they do too. They're hungry. As Dr. Pillai shared, they are suffering, for one. They're in pain. They can't have anything to drink. They can't have anything to eat in those realms. So we have to give them something that they can eat and drink. And we'll just talk about that. So this is a jar full of rice flour or rice powder, and then it is got some black specks in it, and those are black sesame seeds. So that's what they love. So we can, and I have this big jar because I use it every day. And we'll talk about how and what and where and why. Let's start with what is it? So what it is here we have some different items. So the main item that we need to use is the black sesame seeds. So the black sesame seeds are what our ancestors need to eat. They need it for money. They need to travel with it. So this is the secrets of the Siddhas, the lineage that Dr. Pillai hails from. And they have passed this on through the generations. Just like every tradition, every culture has some way of honoring the souls. During funeral rites or during time periods throughout the year based on your religion or your cultural belief system and their celebrations where they're honoring the ancestors. So everyone does it. But we can do this easily at home if we just have the black sesame seeds. So what you would do is you would just take the black sesame seeds. If you don't have black sesame seeds, the gray or sorry, the beige ones or the white ones will do. However, you can get them online, black sesame seeds online. You can go to your grocery store in the international section, or you can go to a puja store, an Indian market, and they will have it. So it's also called teal. And so you can ask for teal or sesame, black sesame seeds. So you just take a small amount. That's it. Just a coin size amount in your hand. And then you can even take a coin, which I have here. And you can use any denomination. It can be a nickel, a dime, a penny. It can be anything. It can be a gold coin. So it doesn't matter what it is. So you can take it and put it on top of the black sesame seeds. And then simply you can just, so this is your right hand, and then you can I'm just going to get this bowl set up here. You can take some fresh water, and how you want to make sure that it's fresh is get some spring water and just open it. Don't take a drink out of it. Or you can use tap water. You can even use shower water. We'll get to that. So this is how you do it. You just put it in your right hand, and I'm going to hold it over this dish. And now what you're going to do quickly to get into a different mindset is we're just going to do a quick prayer to our internal self. All of our chakras are going to get activated. We're going to call on Lord Ganesha, who moves the energy through the chakras, starting at the base of the spine. That will move up to the third eye. We'll ask Dr. Pillai to come in and bless us, and then we will activate the chakra system, and we will do our prayer. So it's going to be about a minute. So if you can, if you're in a place now where you can just get comfortable, and then you can have your black sesame seeds if you do have them. If you don't, you can do it later on. So you can just be in a prayer mode. So closing your eyes and putting your attention internally. And we're going to focus on the base of the spine. And we're going to call on Lord Ganesha to remove the obstacles, for the Kundalini energy to rise up through the chakras and come up to the third eye. So we're in a higher state. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Base of the spine. Heart center, middle of the chest. Ooh. Throat, clear the throat. Ma. Third eye. Base of the spine. Na. Navel. Ma. Heart. She. Throat and mouth. Va. The two eyes and the brain. Ya. Now imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you, sending two rays of light into your eyes and into your third eye, coming from his eyes and his third eye. Lock on. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Please empower me to honor my ancestors. So you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them to watch. This is a prayer to 6 generations of my ancestors on my mother's side of the family and 6 generations of ancestors on my father's side of the family. Please accept this offering. Be at peace, go to high realms, have whatever it is that you need. And on your way there, you can consider blessing everyone here on the earth plane with peace, prosperity, enlightenment, and also help me with my health. And then you take the rest of the water and pour it over the coin. And then you can take the coin out and reuse it. This can be discarded either down the drain, but have a drain catcher. So it can also be discarded outside. So when you do this Tarpanam practice, that's the easiest, that's the simplest way to do it. And then you can do it with other items. So, for example, you could add some rice powder. This is rice powder. Again, you can get that at any grocery store or Indian food stores or online. So then you would mix these two together. So that would be another way to propitiate the ancestors, add the coin and do that. And then you can also use rice. So if you don't have the rice powder, you can simply use rice, white rice grains. So you can mix these two together. So those are the white rice and the black sesame seeds. Now, this is something that if you have on hand, it's called darba. This is darba grass, and this is a special technology that we can use to honor the ancestors, to bring us to that royal state of being with them. So if you can get this either online or maybe at an Indian temple, you can maybe you can go to an Indian food store or puja store, archana store. So it's darba, as in D-H-A-R-B-A, and not durva. Durva is for Ganesha, and that looks like this. So this is durva, which is also called Bermuda grass. So it looks a lot different than darbha. You can see, right? Oops, there we go. So what you can do is you can just cut that darba grass up into tiny pieces like that. And then you can add it to the mix so that you can have this kind of thing happening. So you've got inside, you've got the black sesame seeds, you've got the white rice powder. There are some white rice kernels, not cooked, they're raw. And then some cut up darba grass. And then inside is the coin. So you can have that just sitting by your sink and then ready to go. So you can use bottled water, unopened bottled water, or you can use the tap water. You can also have it in a sealed container. And so you have it like this, and then you seal it and put it in your shower. So when do you do Tarpanam offering to the ancestors? Is you do it during daylight hours. So from sunrise, whatever that time is for you, wherever you are in the world, sunrise to sunset every day, not just new moon days. Those are the power days, but you can do this every day. Every day you can be feeding your ancestors. So if you have it in the shower, you take your shower, and then before you jump out of your shower, you can do your ancestor offering. So you want to have this tarpanam in a sealed plastic container in case it falls, it doesn't break, and it doesn't burst open. So when the ingredients fall into the drain, they may, if it's not a covered drain, if it doesn't have a screen or a drain catcher for anything to be caught, hair or whatever, if it's not there, the drain will get clogged and you'll actually grow little plants in there. So you don't want to do that. So you can also do it in a sink, in a kitchen sink, in the bathroom sink, because you just come out of your shower and you're going to do it right there. Make sure that your bathroom is spotless because you're honoring. It's just a sacred technology. So cleanliness is next to godliness, right? You want your ancestors to go to Pitra Loka, which is a place, a heavenly realm for the ancestors. And then they can evolve to higher realms, because they're out of tremendous amount of suffering and confusion. They kind of know, okay, now I'm going here next. So the more we feed them, the higher they will go. And then, so you can also do this outside. If you have a backyard, you can be doing your tarpanam outside, and then you can carry on with your day. So what direction would you be facing? You would be facing the direction of the ancestral realm, which is south. In most traditions, they have their own directions. So this is according to the Indian tradition. You face south for the ancestors, or in some texts, they say you can face southwest. So south, southwest, that is the realm of the ancestors. So play with it. You just pull out your phone and pull up your compass app, and then find the direction that you would be facing the south. And then you just do your prayer and you do your offering. It should take about a minute. The main thing is you want to get into a state of receptivity. So even if you don't remember the first part of the meditation, you can be simply saying a mantra. So you can say Om Namah Shivaya, or if you know Arutparum Jyoti mantra, maybe some of our friends can post those mantras on the chat so people will know what that is. So there are so many videos that the different teachers have done, and there is a fabulous course called Soul Genetics. And Soul Genetics is a program that Dr. Pillai is initiating us into the realm of the ancestors, how to honor them, when to honor them, what to do when you're honoring them. And then that course is available in Pillai Center Academy. And again, one of our fabulous friends here at Pillai Center will pop that link onto the chat as well for you. And then there is, I'm happy to be hosting the support call that will be happening tomorrow, which is Sunday, the 8th of September, and that is going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The call will be recorded. So even if you purchase the program, the course, and you've got other commitments, you can go dive into the teachings whenever you want, and then you will see what we talked about. And there, since last year, or since the last time that I had done the hosting of that call, there are so many more techniques and so much more information that's been added, thanks to our team and thanks to Dr. Pillai and everybody who wrote about ancestral offerings and the Tarpanam and how to honor our ancestors, so our souls will change, our destiny will change. So there's another component to it, and you've got to join to find out. It's very reasonable price point. So a couple of Starbucks, that's what it is, really. So to honor your ancestors, to find out how to do that, and then also there are 2 really powerful meditations that you can also get access to, and we'll go through those meditations tomorrow when we have the call. So hopefully you will join the call. If not, join the course, because it's going to really help you. You're going to really understand internally and in a profound way that, wow, I really didn't get why we need to honor the ancestors, and then how to. So that's the main thing, is we already know what our problems are. We've had problems since day one, and really with our family first and foremost. And most of us have gotten on a spiritual path because we were like scratching our head for so long. Why is everyone so miserable? Or why am I miserable? Or why aren't things going the way I need them to go? And why are bad things happening to nice people like me? So that's what you can find out, and then heal the relationships with your family members, with your friends, with your colleagues, with your business customers, with your, even at school, even with kids. So many people come to Dr. Pillai and they say, my God, my kids are such a mess. And he will say, it's your ancestors. Go get into a program. So one way to do that is to find out how your genes think and why your genes are thinking that way, and then why you are suddenly at risk in your life. There's a crisis in your life. There's some up and down and up and down, and I'm so tired of it. So soul genetics is going to soothe the soul, and it's going to teach you how to come out of your challenges and get the blessings to fix those areas of your life that have been messed up for so long. So you may have received the pamphlet, the workbook that was offered when you opted in. And it's here, this is a black and white copy. It's called Soul Genetics. And so that is free. Take a look at it, read about it. So anything that you do to wake up inside of you, that consciousness of what is going on, why am I doing the things that I'm doing? And then not only why, but how do I come out of it? So the advantages of Mahalaya, this great time of the ancestors, this Mahalaya Paksha on the dark side of the moon coming up, full moon. So it's going to be 15 days to clear out the bad luck, curses, afflictions. So we have heard about, things that are passed on through our genes, like disease or bad finances. Like we learned how to manage our money, manage our finances by our parents, by people around us that maybe they didn't know what they were doing either. So they pass that on, and we can never get that together. So we go up and down in our finances, and we're always in some sort of crisis, either emotionally about it, or maybe we have money, but we're penny pinching. We don't even live because we're so concerned that, oh my God, I need to save this for a rainy day. And now I'm 70 years old and I missed all my whole life. So that can be because your ancestors are pinging you from your cells, from your genes, and that's an energy that's coming up because we share their genes, even though they're no more. So that is the secret behind the technology, is that it will remove us from that affliction. It will unstick us from the curses. It's not that we throw the baby out with the bathwater and say, oh, I'm never going to be a part of that lineage. It's just that you're not going to inherit those bad habits. How do you know that you're suffering from an ancestral affliction? You can have like food cravings just coming out of nowhere. So watch out during these 15 days of Mahalaya. You're going to be like wanting to drink alcohol, and you don't drink alcohol because everyone in your lineage suffered from alcoholism and it ruined families. Or you want to smoke. You want to smoke cigarettes, or if you're here in Canada, you can start smoking marijuana. So you might have that craving. Eating sweets or eating salty food, eating something. Why are you doing that? You know better. It's your ancestors. They're saying, hey, I'm trying to get your attention. Feed me, do something for me because I want to have a smoke. I want to have a drink, and I got to do it through you. So if you don't want me to do it through you, feed me what I need. I need my black sesame seeds at minimum. So do that. And so that can also be depression. You can have like, oh God, I don't know what is going on, because we're on the dark side of the moon. Our mind is getting going internally, and it is going inside and looking and seeking out those skeletons in our closets. Memories are going to come from the past, like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't say that. Oh, I wish I had a better relationship with my brother, my sister, my father, my mother, my friends, and so on. And they're alive, but the ancestors are impacting them as well. So when we honor the ancestors, we're actually helping our family members. So during that 15 days, Mahalaya Paksha, we can be experiencing all sorts of things that are going on, unexplained, pain inside of our body. And we're thinking, oh my God, am I going to get arthritis, or am I going to get cancer? Oh, I think I feel a lump. And literally, these kinds of things will come out of nowhere. And we will be like, oh my God, my uncle died of colon cancer, and I feel a lump in my abdomen. Does that mean, oh, you know, or geez, I have pain in my low back. Do I have kidney problems? And why are you thinking those thoughts? You're not thinking those thoughts. Your ancestors who had those problems are thinking those thoughts, and they're pumping them into you. So that is going to cause a lot of anxiety. So just know that you're going to be impacted. That's why get into the soul genetics course, because you will have specific meditations that will change that thinking. And then it will shift your destiny, because you won't change your destiny. You'll know where you want to go, but you won't change it until you shift your thinking. So the thoughts that come from our ancestors, we want them to, okay, off to the side. Yes, I love you, and then carry on, do whatever it is that you need to do. God bless you, I'll keep feeding you. But you know, you carry on, because I got to carry on in this life, and you don't fit in this life. You were during the war. I'm not living a war right now. So, but I feel like I am. I feel like I'm always anxious. I feel like I'm always upset or depressed or angry, and I just want to kill somebody. My God, that's what happens. Or people have suicidal thoughts because some ancestors committed suicide, or some people act really childish, baby-like in their actions, the way they dress, the way they look. And everyone is scratching their heads in the family saying, why can that person not grow up? And they're like 60 years old. When are they ever going to grow up? When are they ever going to come out of that? We're concerned. Their kids are concerned. Their grandkids are concerned. This is the ancestor. So even if we have siblings like I do, I have 5 of them. And my mother has passed. And when my mother passed, I actually did a Tarpanam. So the feeding of the ancestors is called Tarpanam. It means to satiate or satisfy the ancestors. It's the food for the soul's food. Just like we have cravings and we eat whatever is here that we're craving. They have cravings and they need this kind of food to move to higher realms. And why do we want them to move to higher realms again? We need them to bless us, to give us good luck. And they're ready to, because we help them. So there's a reciprocal or mutual exchange. There always is. And so when we honor the ancestors during Mahalaya, during the special moons of Mahalaya, you can read about it on Pillai Center. And there are power moons every day. So if you pull up that link, you will find the remedies that can be done. You can find out how to there's a little video clip on how to actually do the Tarpanam offering. And then it will tell you about the significance of the moons. So the moon phases during Mahalaya are really important, and there are a few important ones that I'll touch on. So the full moon is the first one, and that is going to kickstart Mahalaya. So you're going to feel the energy of Mahalaya. You're going to feel it in its fullness. And so you want to get blessings right off the bat. The fourth moon is called Bharani. And it is a star where it gets rid of, enemies, diseases, kind of psychic attacks, things like that. And then the eighth moon is another powerful moon, and it is something that you want to look at and then see where it is that you feel that, hey, this is part of my life that really needs to be fixed. And then finally, the new moon, when you honor, if you can't do if you can't participate in any of the services that are offered through Pillai Center, through Mahalaya services, at least do those 4 days, if not do the final day, which is participate in the final day, which is the new moon. The new moon is all about those ancestors will be freed to go to higher realms, even to the realm or status of a god, if they were taken out early in life by a weapon, a bullet, or maybe a severe car accident. That's like a big weapon. So they were taken out early on, and they're struggling. There are these young souls out there, and they don't know where to go and what to do. So we can actually bring them to the level of the gods if we do that. So those who have died in the past 30 years, if you know anyone like that in your lineage. So that's what it is, to honor the ancestors, to participate in the Mahalaya services that are offered through Pillai Center. And there's also a year-long program. I've been doing Tarpanam for probably like over a dozen years. And that's because Dr. Pillai when he first introduced it, I was in India staying with a bunch of my roommates there. And they're also devotees of Dr. Pillai as well. And he said, okay, do this Tarpanam. We're like, what is it? And then he told us, okay, this is to honor your ancestors. Well, he had us doing Tarpanam every hour on the hour for the whole daylight hours. And so we would see each other coming out of their rooms, going outside and doing the Tarpanam every hour. And what was happening is there was so much energy coming in. We had headaches, we had pains in our bodies. It was just like, whoa, this is for real. And I could feel the presence of these spirits or restless souls around me. That was my experience. And I said, all right, I got to do this every day. And I have been pretty much every day since then. And then I've participated in the Mahalaya Paksha and all the new moons that are the power moons throughout the year. And then they came up with this year-long program where I was so happy, because in case I'm traveling or in case I'm so wrapped up in my work and the sun is already set and I can't do my Tarpanam. Why we don't want to do the Tarpanam after the sun sets is because then the restless spirits come. They're in the dark, right? So they want to come and they want to come and get the offerings, but then they come and disturb you. So you can have pain in your body, unexplained pain, or some things that go sideways, or you can't concentrate, you can't focus, and so on. So having the year-long program, I've been doing it as many years as they've had it available, and I'm so grateful, because it has not only shifted everything in my life, so gone from bad luck to awesome luck. It's not even luck, it's just a beautiful way of being. And it's also helped all of my family members. Do they know I'm doing this? No. So whatever we do for ourselves, because we share their genes too, it's going to spill over. So it's not like you would do this Tarpanam, you would put them in a year-long Tarpanam if they don't want to do that, because their soul's journey, just because you're related, doesn't mean that you have the exact same karma. So some of my siblings, they've had great things going on, and then they've lost things, and then the sickness or illness, or the kids are acting up. I can see how everything is now leveling out, because I've been doing this for so many years, and having the year-long, or being enrolled in the year-long program, it is really accelerating it. So even the next generation, so the kids, the grandkids, they're all doing very well because they're not inheriting the afflictions, the doshas, they call it. So that means affliction. So we don't want to, we want to do whatever we can do to help the ancestors, to help us, so that we don't pass on the bad luck. So with that, we'll wrap it up. And I think we have some questions maybe quickly that we can get into. So Tarpanam is done before the shower, after the shower, before the shower, or no, sorry, Tarpanam is done after the shower. So get in the shower. You can either do your Tarpanam in the shower, or you can do it once you come out of the shower. So you want to cleanse, because all night long, you don't know where your soul went, right? Your physical body went to sleep, but where did your soul travel to? Dreamland. Whether you remember your dreams or not, you went there. Maybe you went to the realm of the ancestors and you woke up and said, oh, I was thinking about my mom, my dad, or whoever has passed, right? So you want to wash all that away and then feed them. Can they use basil if they don't have darba grass? You could, but because why I'm saying that sacred basil or holy basil, or tulsi they call it, is something that you would give to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu is the overlord of the ancestors. So yes, you could do that. So that's pretty much it for questions. So hopefully this has been helpful. You can also get one-to-one coaching with me, Sucharita, and all you need to do is get into Soul Genetics course. I'll talk about it more tomorrow when we have when I host that call with everyone, or you can listen to the recording. And in that course, along the sidebar, you can see that option to check it out. And then when you have a one-to-one with me, you're gonna really get connected to the ancestors. You're gonna understand why you are struggling and why you're suffering, and then how to come out of it. So I'll reveal to you through that meditative process. We're going to take you through a guided meditation so you can connect with your ancestors, you can connect with the lineage, you can really see the ones who are disturbed. And then when you come out of it, then you will know, okay, I got to do something about this. Because until we wake up to it, until we become more aware of how they're impacting our thoughts, and our thoughts lead to our destiny. If we want to change our destiny, we've got to have high-minded thoughts, high-thinking thoughts, not suffering and bad luck and so on. So so that will be great to do one-to-one with myself. And I work with advisory services. I work with Hanumandas and Kalkidas, and they are these beautiful beings who have dedicated their whole life to helping people connect or contact the ancestors from the other side and clean up the lineage. So I've been involved in that program for many years personally, and then also helping people, guiding people when they get their reading, and then how to navigate that 18-month journey or 12-month journey, depending on the program. So with that, we'll wrap it up. And if you have any questions, you can send them to office@PillaiCenter.com, or you can send it directly to me, Sucharita@PillaiCenter.com. And I'll be happy to share feedback, and our staff, our team will help you to navigate perhaps the year-long program, or maybe you want to participate in Mahalaya, and definitely come into Soul Genetics. It's going to be such a good investment for yourself and your ancestors and everybody here on the earth plane. So collectively, if we could all do this, we would raise the consciousness so that the generations wouldn't have to suffer the sufferings we have had in terms of finances, health, our job, our career, our interactions with our social circles, our family members, and so on, and everything can get healed. Because when we are God, and we're through and through God, and we've got all the blessings coming from us, and we're doing the right thing at the right time, we're being empowered. So that's what Power Time is all about. And enjoy your practice, enjoy Tarpanam, enjoy Mahalaya, and we'll see you when we see you next. Namaste.